Hello wonderful people of YouTube, this is Cypher and we're back playing some Divinity Original Sin 2. Just cleared out the hidden cave and dealt with a rather grumpy skeleton. Thinking of which,
The soul jar pulses with trapped life force.
shattered the jar into 1,000 pieces.
What remains of the outraged soul molds itself into a defiant skull, glowering at you before it vanishes.
Snake! Worm!
Yep. Didn't want to play ball, so forfeited his jar. This is the secret way to bypass the maze. Just get from the other side.
The stony gaze of the gargoyle holds you fast. Gravel rumbles in its throat.
Stranger, you enter topsy-turvy.
Apologize. You intended no offense.
No matter. Enter. Do not enter. All the same to me. You may stay forever. Each lock opens only with a soul. And how many of those does one mortal have? Maybe you'll find some in the garden. Or maybe your soul will help the next adventurer through.
Say you'll take your chances.
They always do.
Here we are.
As you enter the room, you see 3 skeletons sitting around a table, cards in hand. They creak and turn to stare at you.
A beating heart. Does Brackus need us once more, jailer? Are we finally to be freed?
Insist that you're no jailer. You've nothing to do with their imprisonment.
You're not one of Brackus's brood. You're not Gratiana's pet. Then why do you disturb us?
The flesh yearns for our secrets. Did I not say that word would spread of our genius?
Even after the maggots took your tongue, you still talk too much. Silence your jaw.
Outlaw, not along, and encourage the lizard to tell you more about his genius.
You pretend you have never heard of the progeny of Rask? Of the devilish weapons I crafted for Brackus Rex when I called him Lord?
Not enthusiastically, playing along.
You see? Even the gibbering humans have heard of me. They know that no other weapon could stand against mine.
Oh, truly, Rask, your brilliance knows no bounds. Perhaps this century your genius mind will come up with a way to escape.
By my scales, Tamsin, must you go on? Brackus locked my inventions away with your toys. Had I but one of my creations, we should be free of this place.
Ask why they were making weapons.
More than mere weapons. Traps, purging wands, war wagons, every tool Brackus needed to bend the world to his will.
And the torture chambers. Brackus loved them beauties. Not quite as much as Gratiana did mind. You should have seen her face when she landed us in them.
I'll never forget the smile she wore as we died, and our spirits sealed away in those soul jars.
Ask if there's any way to free them from their curse.
Destroying the soul jars that bind us here. There is no other way.
But beware. They are found in a distant treasure vault, guarded by traps of a cunning not seen by your babe's eyes, and...
By the horns of Balmoreth, you design one reasonable trap and won't shut up about it for centuries.
And thine were better. Couldst thou have brought forth such cunning use of light?
Oh, mine did not constantly disintegrate the labourers building them.
The fault was in thine zombies. The worms in your skull follow instruction better than they.
Wait, Brachus hid their souls in a vault guarded by traps which they designed?
Ever the joker, that man. We design a vault of brilliant cunning and he hides our soul jars in it. As for us, we get a tower with gargoyles, tough walls, and a tougher lock.
We have spent centuries trying to escape this tower, but our power was too weak. There was no hope of freedom.
At least until your gorgeous self opened the door. Now we just need the source from your pretty little corpse, and then we're free.
Tell him to wait. Maybe you can talk about this.
For 1,000 years, I've had to listen to prattle. No, it's time to act.
Inventory. Quick.
I can't use this now.
Okay, never mind then.
I'll yield to none. Prepare yourself.
So, what happens if we go to Rune Castle?
The jar seems quieter now. It sits still.
Take the soul jar and smash it to
The
pieces.
jar shatters like glass, but a spirit rises from the shards like smoke. The ghost of a dwarf, bedecked in necromancer robes, winks and blows you a kiss before slowly fading to nothing.
Beautiful.
The pictograms on the jar stand fixed and still. You see a shape emerge from the ruins of the broken jar, a lizard in the finest necromancer robes. It grudgingly nods at you as it starts to fade from the mortal realm.
Farewell to flesh, farewell to bone, farewell.
The jar stands before you, cold and still. A human spirit slips from the ruins of the jar, decked in necromancer robe.
There we go. Not the brightest of Necromancers. Zombie. Devourer's Claws.
The heavy gauntlets are cold to the touch. A prickle travels up the back of your neck, warning that you're being watched. Flickers of memory fill your mind. You long for solitude. The subtle scent of parchment wrinkles. The memory vanishes, burned away by heat. Ash falls from the sky as a growling whisper addresses you.
I see you. And inside you is the strength I've been looking for.
Keep on
You
listening.
must find that place of longing in the home of a young scholar. I will draw strength from there to speak again.
As the heat around you fades, the desperate memory returns. It claws at you, trying to take hold, then slips away completely.
I don't like we can't use heavy armor.
This won't be of any use. Careful now. That's a trap.
The air around the glowing relic thrums with power, as the source barrier quietly crackles in the background.
Call up your source powers and focus them on the relic.
The hum of the relic grows louder, and bright light starts to spill from its runes. Cracks start to spread across the surface, and it shatters like glass.
A key.
Good find.
The tomb.
budge. Won't budge. Too heavy.
Okay. Gotta wait for the cooldown timer.
Won't budge.
Okay. Need a little bit more strength. Okay. Well. The trick with this well is a rain scroll.
The well is now filled to the brim with fresh, cool water, but what it has brought to the surface quickly evaporates any wish you may have had to quench your own thirst. You see the tangled remains of 3 corpses, a mixed mass of bones and skin, from which 3 skulls protrude. They address you in unison, their voices a drone-like blend.
We thank you for the water. We bless you for the water. We thank you for the end of torment.
Say that it was your pleasure. True thirst is a horror.
A horror, yes. To die of thirst forever. To find hell at the bottom of a well.
Ask them who their tormentor was.
The king, Brachus Rex, the madman with the crown.
Wonder why Brachus Rex punished them so horribly.
Wrath and terror. We displeased the king. The truth we spoke. His fortune told. No divinity would he be. And so he entangled our bodies and cursed our throats. Smoked the brothers of Baladur. We thank you for the water. We bless you for the water. We ask you for a fare.
Ask what the fare is they are asking for.
The toll, the levy. The people of Baladur must be buried with coin. Coin for the pathkeeper that leads the dead to the kingdom beyond. Spare us coin. Grant us coin. The more you pay, the further the pathkeeper takes us. Sweet savior. Friend of death and fiend of life, how much will you give?
Be generous and say their afterlife is worth a king's ransom.
We thank you again. We bless you again. The wealth of the depths is yours. Pathkeeper, keep us. Pathkeeper, guide us. To the long-awaited kingdom we will go.
Laden with the burden of the coin you gave them, the brothers of Baladur sink back to the bottom of the well. Whether they will find their kingdom or languish in the dark, wet depths forever, you cannot foretell.
That'll be a useful skill. How much? Almost done. I'm feeling that skill. What's on that other room? Okay, that didn't work. Huh. Interesting. Entire blue planet. Read. Upon this page is drawn a blueprint of a tomb or vault of some kind. Underneath the drawing, words are scribbled seemingly at random. The words illusions and Brachus Rex are circled multiple times, and an arrow points to a particular room. The words soul jars are written along the length of the arrow in tiny letters. Ornate chess. A lever.
I heard something. Something seemed to move into place.
What moved into place? So if we go back down here. Yep, open the door.
I'd say we should stop to
Too heavy.
Okay. It just must have just opened the door. Okay, There we go.
These skulls crumble to dust after one use.
Hmm? Dragon speech.
Are my eyes fooling me?
Are my eyes?
Here we are. Do 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 do.
What is this place?
Frozen ground in the middle of a swamp. What's going on? Earth is it doing chained up here?
Making life difficult, apparently.
Rakes the earth with icy claws. Quakes from the impact knock you back. The freed dragon looks sick and pale. As you approach, he stretches his tattered wings weakly and fixes his intense gaze upon you. Frozen tears glint in his eyes.
My gratitude for your efforts, friend. Yet I am no more free now than I was in those chains. But of course, that must be why you stand before me. Slain called to the Lord of Death, and here you are. A coincidence?
Tell Slain it's a coincidence. You are not the Reaper.
Ah. My fate, it seems, is not my own to call. My soul is bound to joyless obedience. Purged of my source by the wickedest of witches, I stand enthralled to her every whim. She has only to command, and my traitorous body complies.
Ask if there's any way you can help.
That you would even ask such a question of a stranger already in your debt. There is much goodness within you, but this task would not be easy. Rebecca is a canny one, cat to your mouse. She consumed all my source with her purging wand. So long as she holds it, she has absolute control over me. If you could retrieve it for me, I could be free again.
Grin and flourish the purging wand you took from the witch.
Slain rears back in eagerness, grasping the purging wand with razor-sharp claws. Before your eyes, the source from within the wand surges into his draconic form, filling him with a light so bright that you must shield your eyes from the glare. The blazing brightness dies down. Squinting, you now see no dragon before you, but the figure of a handsome lizard. A handsome lizard with the same eyes as Slain. His eyes still blaze, a piercing silver. A triumphant smile dominates his face as he bows extravagantly before you.
Slain. At your service.
Marvel at his changed form. Is he a lizard or a dragon?
Neither. Both. I am a dragon knight, the last of my bloodline. Shifting between two shapes is our greatest gift.
Tell him you were happy to aid him. No one should remain falsely in prison.
If everyone thought like you, this vile place will be little more than a sunny island. Perhaps before we're done, we can return it to such a state. Knowing such a steadfast and noble soul offers help to those in need gives me great comfort. I'd like to offer you the same. When you are truly at a loss, when you have no choice but to back down or perish, you will find safety in my shadow. This, I promise.
Thank him and wish him well.
All of my thanks are yours, and yours alone. Farewell, my friend.
Slain smiles at you and turns to leave. He takes no more than a few steps before he shimmers out of lizard form, blurring in midair back into a majestic dragon that soars away.
Well, there's my good deed for the day.
The ancient wooden door reeks of salt and seaweed. Not a single nick or gouge mars the detailed face carved across its surface. It also has no lock or handle. But when you run your fingers across the wood, the carved face comes to life.
This ship has the claim of a captain. Unless you belong to Sec Zapper, I suggest you leave.
Tell him his captain is dead.
Yeah, right. Cap doesn't die. He waits.
Take your leave.
Sight, you bilge-drenched vermin.
Beast, you can handle this.
The ancient wooden door, it also has...
This ship has the claim of a captain. Unless you belong to Sec Zapper, I suggest you leave.
Beast, remember the worst insults your crew ever came up with? Then hammer the door with a all.
The door falls silent.
Yeah, I've had enough of your yowling. Get along then.
There's the captain. There we go. And this would leave only a, a fighting Bishop Alexander. So I'm going to leave you here, and that'll be for Thursday. This has been Cypher. If you've been enjoying this content, please like and subscribe.